All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Wadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, salutations to the hopeful elect that's fighting a good fight of faith and truth, in sincerity and wholeheartedly. Shalom unto the Akwath, which is the women believers. Shalom unto you. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. As you see on the screen, a video that I saved from last year. Got 3 videos to show. So really, like 2023, 2024 made a lot of videos about sleeper cells. And every time, this devil talk about sleeper cells, it's always dealing with Russia, Iran, or China. Those are the 3 main people, 3 main nations that, and that's why I want to title this video, The Accuser, and also Order Out of Chaos. So this is how it's the same playbook. It's been working for a long time. We at the end, so people's eyes are open. When you go to some comment boards, you got people who actually have some good sense. Like even when you see certain news segments, people like, oh, this look fake, or this look like agent provocateurs, like they talking like how we talk now. So I want to read this. And I heard a loud voice saying, in heaven now has come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our power, in the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. You're going to see why I'm reading this. But when you go into the word accuser, and you already know when it comes to us, I mean, he, like the scripture said, he accuses day and night. How do he accuse us day and night? He literally plaster us all over the news with derogatory connotations. Always us in a bad light. And he been doing it ever since he came into power. He even, even when he came over here to mess with the northern kingdom, because that's who was over here first. Then he brought the southern kingdom over here. But to justify doing the things that he did to the northern kingdom, which, consists of the so-called Latinos and so-called Native Americans and Seminole Indians, he called them savages. Okay. He made up a lot. He made up a lot of lies, and he also had some truth, because our people was going off, which that's why the Lord allowed this devil to do all these things unto us. But yeah, he always have to accuse first. And the main reason why he accused, he get the people on his side. So when he do his atrocities, people will be like, oh, well, they terrorists. That's why we had to do this. But anyways, accuser. Categoreo. That's how you say it. What that sound like, a category. So they put you in a category. So to charge with some offense, accuse. Okay. This is what they do. And this is what they do to everybody. Like I said, to get people to, to accept the atrocities that they're going to do. Now, don't you think it's ironic? Like I said, so the Lord put the spirit on me, to save a lot of videos from the past. And all these sleeper cells that we've been talk about the prophets, and now it's finally time, because we're at the end. America attacked Iran. Now they talking about it could be sleeper cells. See, I'm about to show you 2 old videos, and I'm going to show you a recent video.
Well, the Biden open borders, they obviously gave comfort to our enemies as terrorists. Tell us a little bit about who crossed the border, in what numbers, and just kind of where things lie right now waiting for an attack.
And also, like the prophet's been saying, all of this was staged. All the military that we have, I'm talking about America. I'm using we for people like anybody new. Okay. For, you use indicators for people to understand. Like we sometimes have to use black and white. Most of the time we say so-called black and white. But anyways, but for argument's sake, I'm just going to say they. America military is very strong. It also have surveillance, like everything track and trace you. So you gonna tell me that if the government didn't want people to cross over to the borders, through the borders in droves like they did, you think that wasn't planned? I forgot what devil said. It was in a quote. I think he was a president, but he said, if anything happened in politics, you better believe that it was set up that way. Can't remember what devil said it, but yeah, if anything happened in politics, believe that it was set up that way, because it's order out of chaos. So now all these migrants came over, and like I always say, the Lord is the master chess player. He allowed that to happen because guess what? The Israelites have to be over here. Some may receive salvation. A lot of them is going to be destroyed over here. Remember, this is the place where it's going to burn. Okay. So, but this is the way to accuse you. And remember, when Biden brought these migrants over here, he was giving them a lot of food stamps, giving them plush hotels, stipends, all of that. While the people was complaining about the migrants, your government allowed them to come over here. But now, guess what? Now they the blame. Now they the problem of everything. And why? They're Israelites. That's why. The accuser of the brethren.
The border, in what numbers, and just kind of where things lie right now, waiting for an attack. There you go.
Okay, so really, the frustrating thing with what happened with our border, no matter what you think the threat is, they all came across, right? So if you're worried about human traffickers, they came in droves. If you're worried about drug traffickers, they came in. If you're worried about Venezuelan gang members, they came in. Obviously, we're focused on terrorists, right? So for terrorists, the government's kind of talking about, maybe about 2,000 came in under the ISIS bucket or within the number of Afghans we brought over. But we really believe the number, if we bring all the groups together, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, some of the Pakistani terrorist groups, some of the other Central Asians, we're talking about probably 8,000 terrorists came into the country.
First of all, you already know it's more. And remember, and this information been came out, all of these terrorist groups is funded by the CIA. You ever heard of the term proxy wars, which is instigator wars? They use them. You have something also called mercenary troops. They all in the same boat. Sleeper cells, which, it's a lot of them here. And this is why when the Lord talks about this right here, because everything aimed at us, especially at the video that I'm about to show you. So Jeremiah 30:7. Oops. It said, alas, for that day is great, so there is none like it. Is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he should be saved out of it. Because the elect, the ones who trust in the Lord said he got us. But for the rest of Israel, we. But here's the thing. We're still going to be down here witnessing this stuff. It's going to get real. But the beautiful thing about all of this happening is that this is leading to the biggest prophecy, which is the MOTB. Because World War III cannot start to its full height. That's why the Lord's putting all the chess pieces in place until the MOTB start. Okay? Which that could start at any time, because all it takes is a crashing of the system for a couple of days, get people to be like, hey, what's the solution? They already got it. Okay? Order out of chaos. And through the Spirit, that's what I believe is going to happen.
Just in the last 4 years.
Wow.
Right? So if you say 19 did 9/11, right? Even if you just use the numbers, the new director of national counterterrorism put out that 2,000, well, just 19 compared to 2,000 is already a beast to deal with. And we're saying it's likely 4 times that. So we have a huge problem, and we need a government moving a lot faster against these terrorists and detaining them and, removing them from our.
And first of all, don't forget about the peacekeepers, which consists of, I want to say, 21 nations. Let me see real quick. How Let's see. How many nations in United damn, what they called again? Shit. Peacekeepers. I think it's peacekeepers. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna put peacekeepers, see what happened. Well, okay, we're gonna read this. Top contributors as of 2026 nations provide the highest number of peacekeepers, including Pakistan. That's Iran, Bangladesh, India. All of this is Elam. Okay, Nepal, Rwanda, Ethiopia, and Egypt. So that's actually Elam and Ishmael. Okay? So I wonder why. Because these are paid CIA agents, just like Bin Laden was, just like before they took him out, Saddam Hussein. Okay? Because, boy, same playbook. But I remember I Googled this. That's why I'm Googling it now. I Googled this like years ago. And I want to say it was like United Peacekeepers, United Nation Peacekeeper. But I forgot how I put it. But basically, it's like 21 nations over here already. So let's go back.
How many Iranian sleeper cells do we suspect are in the United States?
Congressman, I can't talk about that in this setting, but what I can tell you is I know Homeland Security, I know the FBI. They are focusing on doing everything.
So there's another video from last summer.
We can to keep our nation safe, and they will continue to do that.
And you see, this is the same playbook, just like back in 9/11. Now, 9/11, I was only 13 years old, but I remember it like it was yesterday. I was in the kitchen with my mom. My mom had a TV in the kitchen while she cooked. I was suspended from school. So anyways, for fighting. So that's why I was home that day. I seen the whole thing on the news. It was terrifying being a 13-year-old, teenager, not knowing what the hell is going on. But I remember, the news, terrorists, and planes, flying, which we all found out all this shit was fake and set up. It was coordinated, but it's the same thing. That's what got the people to be okay with America going over there to the Middle East and wrecking havoc for 20 years. Okay? So it's the same thing now. Now they attack Iran, and now they're saying there's threats of Iranians in here, which is going to cause the order out of chaos. That's going to get the people scared. That's going to get the people, wanting the government to come to their aid. And guess what? We got to lock everything down. We got to start chipping everybody. We have to have more surveillance. And remember, the prophet's been saying that they was going to use the migrant crisis, possibly, to use that as a ploy to be like, yeah, we have to start surveilling people more under the skin. That's the way that we could track you. Okay. Now, all this technology that America have, because everything, like I said, your phone, your smart TV, everything, your social media account, your bank account, all of that tracks and trace you. You can't go nowhere without these people not knowing where you at. So you gonna tell me all these people, these sleeper cells, they just in here, huh? How they get over here? How they just walking around? How they not participating in society? And how are they participating in society actually? And nobody know who the hell they are. Come on now. They're government funded.
Yeah, it's a frightening time in which we live right now. But President Trump is committing.
Remember, this is what, 8 months before they actually attack Iran. So they always set the narrative.
To committed to keeping all Americans safe, and we look forward to working with you on that.
Great, thank you. How many active cases of threats to the homeland does DOJ currently have open as of today?
Countless. I can't talk about those in this setting either. Obviously, anything pending regarding national security issues. But there is not a day that goes by that we don't discuss the issues that you just brought up with me at the Department of Justice. But I also know that our counterparts at DOD, HSI, the State Department, and all of our agencies are working together to make America safe and in turn keep our world safe.
To get this done, and the world mark, you're right, is a safer place. All right, thank you, sir. All right, counterterrorism teams are now at
So this is from 1 day ago.
high alert at the FBI. Now, keep in mind, Iran has operated death squads within the United States, even tried to assassinate President Trump multiple times. Here with more, former National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien.
You see this devil right here? So when Genesis 25 said that Esau came out red, look at this, okay? For you people out there who might be skeptical, okay, thinking that Esau, Edom is not the self-proclaimed white people. Look, this is a red man that you're looking right here. So imagine, because guess what? What do babies do when they come out the womb? Majority of them cry. First of all, you're getting squeezed through a canal. Okay? So you're coming through that birth canal, which means that your blood is pressing forth through your skin. They don't have no melanin. Okay? So guess what? Blood short forth through his skin. That's what his name means. Okay? Esau, wasted away is he. Ishashwa. All right, in the Hebrew. But look at this red man.
Obviously, especially during the Biden open borders years, we have known terrorists in the country. We have people from over 200 countries. We know they're here. We don't know where they all are.
We know they're here. They don't know where they all are. Come on, man. Come on. People need to wake up, but hey, only ones who's woke. The real woke is the men and the women who believe who the Lord have mercy upon. Okay?
How great a threat do you believe that is?
Sean, it's a real threat. And we know that Iran has used terrorism and assassination from the start of their regime. They've killed people in Europe. They've tried to kill people here in America. And it's an asymmetric tool that they use regularly. Now, Kash Patel was the senior director of the NSC when I was the National Security Advisor, and he was the counterterrorism senior director. So Kash knows this. He's put the FBI on high alert. But keep in mind, the number one target of the Iranian regime, the top of their list is Donald J. Trump and his family. And he's been a target from the start, since he took office. And I'll tell you one thing, President Trump is a courageous and brave man, because I've never heard him once, as he decides policy and decides what to do for the American.
Get off his nuts, okay? First of all, Donald Trump is not in no type of danger, okay? Otherwise, he wouldn't be walking around. He know that he good. And all of this is just a circus act. This is all to bring forth. Matter of fact, because this is what they want out of it. For when they should say peace and safety, then, okay? So, peace and safety, right? That's what's supposed to happen after you feel like you are in danger. So, all it is to work on the emotions of the people. Order out of chaos. Create a problem, get a reaction, have a solution. The solution is to chip everybody. It's real simple, but, people think that this thing got to be rocket science. The Lord said the simplicity in him, the simplicity in Yahweh Shai. All right. The Lord said, before they spring forth, I show you them. Isaiah 42:9. Proverbs 20:6 said that the man of understanding would draw, a man's heart out. Okay, would draw his mind out. We telling you the true intentions of these devils.
People people with respect to Iran. Never once has he raised the issue about his vulnerability. He's out with the public all the time. He's on the streets. He's at rallies. Never once has he raised the issue.
To get this done, and the world.
There are new concerns about any potential threats to the homeland after the U.S. attack on Iran. The FBI is now investigating this evening a horrific and deadly shooting in Austin, Texas. 2 killed, more than a dozen injured. What authorities...
Now you're going to see why I started off with Revelation 20 and 10. Now, of course, he do this to everybody. But look who is the person that was supposed to do the shooting. Look at this shit.
The suspect was wearing, and now federal authorities are investigating the motive amid heightened concern across the U.S. tonight. Here's Pierre Thomas.
Tonight, potential evidence that what's happening in Iran may have a direct impact right here at home. Early Sunday morning, the ominous sound.
Like all of this, like it's the same type of videos when it comes to mass shooting. It's always somebody recording. All right. It's always people with that got shot, but there's no blood nowhere. You know, people always getting carried. That guy got hit. But where the blood at? I've seen a person get shot. It was blood everywhere. So I just want to know where the blood at. But let's continue to watch.
Sound of gunfire as a nightmare unfolds outside of an Austin, Texas nightclub.
Is anyone in here injured? No, we're good. Everyone, if anyone's here.
A man in an SUV using a pistol to randomly fire at people outside the club just before 2 a.m. In seconds, the suspect seen here out on the street, now with a rifle, firing away. In the end, more than a dozen wounded. A witness capturing video of some victims being helped by emergency personnel. 3 of those victims transported to local hospitals in critical condition. 2 dying at the scene. The gunman shot dead by police, ending the vicious assault.
We have families that are at hospital rooms waiting for outcomes from surgery. That's the reality of what we're dealing with today.
The deadly rampage coming hours after the U.S. attack on Iran. The killing of its supreme leader became the biggest story in the world. And tonight, the FBI investigating whether the shooter might have been motivated by those headlines.
There were indicators that on the...
So check this out, right? So when it comes to the prophets, we speak the truth, but the way that they could turn it, we speak against the JEWS. Okay? So guess who are against the JEWS? Iran. What are they associated with? Being a Muslim. Allah, right? They always try to group us together. But let's continue.
Subject and in his vehicle that indicate potential nexus to terrorism.
Law enforcement sources say this image obtained by Fox News is the suspect.
You know damn well a ninja don't give a damn about what happened over there in Iran. Okay? But look, this is what they're doing. This is the accuser. Okay? This is what you call, as I say in Isaiah 29 and 21, because everything circled back to us, making a man an offender for a word. So this is what you call him being the devil, being very crafty. And through his policy, Daniel 8:25, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. Okay? So this happened in the time of Antiochus Epiphanes, but guess what? These are the same devils back. Nothing new under the sun. These are Edomites. They're using the same playbook. The rest of the scripture goes into how, you know, he tried to go against the Lord and got destroyed. Okay? And the Lord didn't have to, you know, put hands on him. He just smote him with a disease. Okay? But I just wanted to get the first part of the sentence. Of this scripture, because that's what he's doing through his policy. So he's going to set up. We've been talking about the famine of the word. We've been talking about, as we read, the accuser of the brethren. This is all these things lead to us. But he's trying to, like how the Lord do. Because remember, Esau, Edom is just, working for the Lord on the left-hand side. But the Lord, he's all about two birds with one stone, killing two birds with one stone. So what he's doing when he accuses, he starts off with others, but it leads to us. So he tried to group everybody. Anybody that's against his NWO and, speak against it. Yeah, everybody is a threat. But look at this. This is so tacky.
Dressed in a hooded sweatshirt bearing the words "Property of Allah." Sources identifying the alleged gunman as Njaga Jannah, a 53-year-old naturalized citizen from Senegal. And sources telling ABC News initial reports to police say he was also wearing a T-shirt making reference to Iran. Authorities also investigating whether the man...
Show you how crafty this devil is. He got a Israelite man, because it's a lot of Israelites in Senegal. Okay, he could be a Hamite, but it doesn't matter. The way that he look, everybody gonna think he's a so-called African American. But anyways, so you get somebody from Africa, just to make it be more believable, because over there in that region, you do have a lot of Muslims. That's it always been like that too. That's the Moors. You know what I'm saying? So to make it more believable, yeah. So that's pretty smart, Esau. But we ain't stupid. We see you. Because you already know that people are going to look at it like, see, that's a black man.
Had mental health issues. While we don't yet know if Iran was the primary motivator in this attack...
Well, if it's not, or you don't know, why are you portraying it like this? Because he's the accuser.
Kind of lone wolf mass shooting is precisely the kind of random violence that federal law enforcement fears the situation in Iran might evoke.
I think law enforcement authorities are concerned about attacks happening every day, and obviously yesterday with the bombings taking place in Iran, the attacks could come even at a higher rate. But it's your schools, it's your churches, it's your airports.
But the fear of so-called lone wolves acting out because of Iran is hardly the only threat from that country that has law enforcement worried tonight. U.S. officials in recent years have identified a number of Iran-inspired plots, including an alleged plan to kill President Trump.
Tonight, the Justice Department is revealing a suspect with ties to Iran has been arrested, accused of plotting to assassinate government officials.
So you see, they've been, trying to get to Iran. And this is Israel's war. And you know that Israel is the pimp of America. But yeah, so they have to demonize you on the news, the accuser, okay? For the people can basically, for they really can feel justified and the people accept it.
In the U.S. Sources tell ABC News Donald Trump was among the potential targets.
One of the suspects in that alleged plot, Asif Merchant, is on trial in Manhattan with a jury soon to decide his fate. Merchant, who is from Pakistan, has pleaded not guilty. Officials claim Iran has also targeted journalists and dissidents here who oppose the regime.
An alleged plot to kidnap an American citizen here in New York City.
The Justice Department says that Iran was behind the plot to kidnap Masih Alinejad, an Iranian-American journalist and author, allegedly even going to the point of tracking her travel and researching how to evacuate her from New York City.
So right there, let you know that if they want to track and trace your ass, they got you. So how they let all these sleeper cells in here? Because they're paid mercenaries, okay? They hired on a job. That's why they call sleeper cells. When they get their call, then they get active. Right now, they're inactive. And they just wait for the perfect time. And remember, we've been telling you that these nations... Let's get this real quick. That's why Jacob's trouble ain't nothing to play with. It says, behold, the day of Yahweh will cometh. Ooh. Behold, the day of Yahweh cometh, and your spoils shall be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle. And the city shall be taken, the houses rifled, the women ravished. Half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people should not be cut off from the city. The residue is the remnant, okay? What the Lord is telling you, this is what Jacob's trouble going to look like. Women going to be getting ravished. People going to be getting taken out of their houses. People going to be getting killed, okay?
In a speedboat.
They showed me photos from my private life, the photos of my husband, me walking around, like watering my beautiful garden. They even took picture of my stepchildren.
Going back more than a decade, the U.S. intelligence community and law enforcement organizations came to understand Iran's attack playbook as it relates to the United States. And it really breaks down to several areas of threat-related activity. First, concerns about the potential for physical attacks, targeted attacks by individuals who are Iranian intelligence or military operatives who are able to enter the United States, attacks by individuals who are inspired by Iran based on content that is placed online by Iran intended to inspire attacks.
Sources tell me the FBI is planning to step up surveillance of suspected Iranian operatives, and the Secret Service has expanded its protection of the president, vice president, and all living former presidents. And beyond the threat of violence, U.S. officials tonight worried about Iran's or its proxies' ability to conduct cyber attacks on the...
So you see, now remember, for years now, been making videos on the cyber attacks. Guess who they always blame? Either Russia, Iran, or China. What do you think the cyber attacks is going to do? It's going to shut down everything. Even waters ran off of, majority of the water systems ran off the electric grid. Okay? So shutting off or letting off an EMP, let an EMP go off, shutting down the system, man, the electrical grid, man. Like they say, you'll go back to the Stone Age. Okay? So yeah, man, all of this is leading to the MOTB. All of this is leading to Jacob's trouble. Okay? So real quick, going back to Revelation 12, we're going to read it all the way to 12. So, and I heard a loud voice saying, in heaven now has come salvation, strength, and the kingdom of our power, for the power of his anointed, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused him before our power day and night. And they, that's us, Lord willing, we endure to the end, overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. They live not their lives unto the death, for those who have to be martyrs. Therefore rejoice ye heaven. So you see from Revelation 12 and 10, Revelation 12 and 11, Revelation 12 and 12. The Lord is telling you that these things got to happen. He is going to come down with great wrath and all of that. But the Lord is telling you to rejoice. Okay? Therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Woe, just for everybody else. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because you know he had but a short time. So that's the reason that all of this is happening.
U.S. infrastructure, especially so-called denial of service attacks. And David, tonight we're learning from sources that the suspect did have an Iranian flag on his t-shirt. The situation could have been so much worse. This was truly the stuff of nightmares, David.
Pierre Thomas with us here tonight.
Yeah, all of this is tacky, and hopefully, you know, this video is edifying. I never make a video this long, but I had to get it all out. This is so tacky, so staged, and it's all leading to one purpose: to crash the system, to accuse the Israelites, to go to war, and the people to be justified. All of that's the same reason. Okay? Jacob's trouble, Mark of the Beast, World War III. That's what it's all about. And we almost here. All praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Seek ye out the Lord while he may be found, and Shalom.